Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today I got a pretty serious topic for you guys, and the topic is, does Stephen A. Smith have something against foreign players? So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. We've kind of touched on this area quite a bit in the past with Stephen A. Smith. As y'all remember, about 2 weeks ago, he had some controversial comments about Shohei Ohtani, the Japanese descent baseball player, saying that he wouldn't be good for baseball given the fact that he can't even speak English, given the fact that he's not a Native American, or I think he could, because he wasn't born in the States or something like this. And the Asian community came out for Stephen A. Smith. Prior to that, Team Nigeria had beaten Team USA in the Olympic trials, or in an exhibition game. And Stephen A. Smith came on TV talking about the Nigerian players and mispronouncing their names on purpose, right? Purposefully. And I took major exception to that. We did a live about it. I said my piece. I defended my position. I said that type of disrespect will not be tolerated. You don't get to disrespect a nation of 200 million people just to be entertaining to people on TV that will think it's funny for you to mispronounce African names. I took complete exception to that. And of course, some blacks were sitting up there playing that silly game with me of, I'm not African. I'm doing just the same old game that gets us nowhere. Of course, you have those blacks that always do it, and I don't know why, right? I just don't understand it. So we had that kind of back and forth. Now, Stephen A. Smith has a history of this. This is not the first time that he's done this. He is known for purposefully making fun of non-American players' names. For example, if you think of the former Spur, his name, and I hope I'm pronouncing it properly, Rasho Nesterovic, I hope I'm pronouncing his name. There are many segments on ESPN First Take where he purposefully mispronounces his name on purpose, just to make fun of him. Now, some people may say, well, he made fun of Kwame Brown by calling him Kwame Brown. In case you didn't know, Kwame is a Ghanaian name. It's a West African name. Kwame is not an American name in a typical sense that we think of it, right? So he's known for doing this. Recently, we were listening to some comments, and he was kind of giving his feedback on how he felt Giannis Antetokounmpo performed in the playoffs, and I think there was a comparison at one point between him and Kevin Durant. So before I go too far, I want you guys to take a listen to what he had to say about Giannis Antetokounmpo as it pertains to Kevin Durant. Take a listen.
But when we talk about skills and what a brother brings to the table, this dude ain't on KD's level. I don't want to hear that. He's not Kevin Durant.
Well,
let's stop that right now.
The question was this version of Giannis. This version of Giannis hit 90% of his free throws.
Hold on, wait a minute. I know what the hell the question was. I'm answering it. I'm not you. I didn't dance and moonwalk
So you don't get it
or
right?
rap. I'm answering the question directly. I don't give a damn what you saw last night. He's not better than Kevin Durant. What Giannis did last night definitely deserves to be applauded. But one of the biggest reasons we have to applaud him is because of what we saw was such an aberration for him as it pertains to the free throws is what I'm talking about. That ain't nothing for Kevin Durant. If Kevin Durant shot 17 for 19 from the free throw line, we'd be like, damn, he missed 2 free throws. That's what we'd be like. We wouldn't think about the 17 he made. We'd think about the 2 he missed because he normally doesn't miss them. He's a career 85% plus shooter from the free throw line.
Right,
He's
so
a
he misses
career
3 out of 20.
28-point per game scorer. He's a sniper, long range, 6'11" with a 7'6" wingspan. Giannis ain't that dude. Giannis is great. Giannis is a champion. He is somebody that has elevated himself to being one of the preeminent faces in the National Basketball Association. No question about that. I give you that. He's top 3. I even agree with you there. You want to go there? That's fine. But we need to talk about knocking guys like Kawhi or others off the pedestal. When we're talking about the best in the game of basketball, resumes do matter. It doesn't matter what just happened immediately because of the plethora of injuries you yourself pointed to, Max. We've got guys that have been injured and has been out, and we don't hold that against them. We don't use that as an excuse to knock them off the pedestal. We wouldn't be calling Giannis less than great if Giannis couldn't play in the NBA Finals because of that hyperextended left right knee that he suffered. So we got to ultimately look at their resume and their skill set. And when it comes to skills, especially with those Beetlejuice eyes of yours, I keep telling you about that. The one man on this planet that does not need glasses is you. to sit up there and talk about him as the best in the world. I appreciate the fact that you just said he's top 3, but he's in the discussion. No, he ain't better than Kevin Durant.
Now, in that soundbite, Stephen A. Smith says a few things. He says that Giannis Antetokounmpo is not on the level of Kevin Durant. You know, Kevin Durant can hit his free throws. He can do this. He can do that, and all these different things. Here's my issue. Giannis just had one of the greatest finals games you'll ever see in NBA history. One of the greatest single game performances you're ever going to witness in your lifetime in an NBA Finals. This guy is fresh off of that. This is a multiple time. If I look at Giannis Antetokounmpo's career, okay, he's a two-time regular season MVP. He's a 5-time All-Star. He's been on 3 All-First teams, 2 second. He's been on 5 All-NBA teams. He's won a Defensive Player of the Year. He's been on 4 All-Defensive teams and 3 First Defensive teams. He has a Finals MVP and he's a champion, right? I don't think Giannis Antetokounmpo is chopped liver. Now, Kevin Durant is an all-time great, right? He's an all-time great, and I've already said this on multiple occasions. He's a 2-time champion, 2-time Finals MVP. He's regular season MVP, 11-time All-Star, 2-time All-Star Game MVP. He's been a part of the 50-40-90 club. He's won 4 scoring titles. So Kevin Durant is an elite player. No one is disagreeing with that. But when you say that he's not on his level because he doesn't play similarly or the way that Kevin Durant plays, you got to take exception to that, because first of all, what is going on with this thing about Giannis and people not want to give Giannis his props? I've heard people give more credit to people that have not accomplished a single thing in the playoffs than they do Giannis. Look at James Harden. People throwing all these props on James. James Harden never led no team to no championship, and people are quick to give him, his props. James Harden strikes me sometimes as somebody that doesn't care. What about the famous loss when he lost against the Golden State Warriors? Like a few hours later, he was in a strip club. Does that look like somebody that cares? Am I attacking James Harden? No, but I've seen a lot of players that are undeserving of a lot of praise get it. And players that do deserve it, they don't get it. Now let's talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo for a second. Giannis Antetokounmpo is not on the level of KD. Just finished averaging 30 points per game in the playoffs, 57% shooting from the field, 18.3% from 6% from the free throw line, a 3-point line, 58.7% from the free throw line, got you 13 rebounds a game, 5 assists, 1 steal, and 1.2 blocks per game. Okay, those are Giannis's numbers. The fundamental problem people are having with Giannis is that they cannot reconcile the fact that Giannis is not a guard. Giannis is a power forward that can handle the ball. He is not a guard. He's not a point guard. He's not a shooting guard. He's not a small forward. He is a big man that handles the ball. People are mischaracterizing Giannis, number one. Number two, no basketball player is perfect. Every player has a deficiency. You know, one thing you can't say about Giannis is that he doesn't care. You can't say that about him. You know, one thing you can't say about Giannis is that he's not a hard worker. Go look at Giannis Antetokounmpo's career trajectory. Giannis is one of the hardest working players in NBA history. Very few players have developed as much as he has over his time, like in an 8-year period, than you'll ever see. The first year Giannis got into the NBA, he was averaging 6.8 points. The next year he was averaging 13. The next year he was averaging 17. The next year he was averaging 23. The next year he was averaging 27. The next year he was averaging 27.7. Then 29.5. Then 28.1. In a 4-year span, he won two regular season MVPs, and he won a Defensive Player of the Year award in a 4-year span. And in that same span, won a Finals MVP, being the lone superstar on his Milwaukee Bucks team, and led that team to a championship. And you talking about he's not on his level? What is up with this Giannis thing? And Stephen A. Smith, for whatever reason, I've told you, he likes to make fun of Nigerian players' names. He was called out for that. He had his agent comments about Shohei Ohtani. I've already mentioned some things that he said in the past. Now it's Giannis. What is it with what is it that people want from Giannis? What is it? What is this dude's issue with people that are foreign players? What is his issue? I'm not understanding it. Like, what's the big issue here? What's the issue? Just give it up to him. And on a day like today, when he just won his title, you coming out here saying that? On a day like today, he's the last man standing. Had one of the greatest. Kevin Durant has put up some amazing performances in the finals, especially when he was playing against LeBron James. He ain't had nothing like this before. And that's no disrespect to KD. He's a top 3 player in the NBA. He ain't had nothing like this before. I'm sorry. I just think it's totally unnecessary. and I don't understand what it is. I don't get it. I don't get it. Somebody has to explain to me. I don't get it. Those are my thoughts and opinions. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day. Catch you guys on the next episode.